One of the highlights in your matric year is going to be your matric dance. And so many schools have a dance where you celebrate the fact that you're now in matric and your schooling is coming to an end. And my wife and I have been invited to our matric dance at our school. Now, I know it seems strange that I'm going to a matric dance, but then I'm the teacher, one of the teachers, and so we get invited. All right. So I went home and said to my wife, "Hey, my dear wife, we're going off to a matric dance." She said, "That is so exciting because that means I can go and buy a new dress." Okay. And that's always something no man wants to hear his wife say, all right? Because then you know it's money, money, money. And dresses cost so much money nowadays. Anyway, I said to her, "Got bad news, dear. We've got no money. You cannot have a new dress." And her reply was, "Well, I've got excellent news for you. I can open an account at the shop and I can buy the dress on credit and pay it off over 6 months or 12 months. Horrible thought, that. Okay. And that's what this segment, the short segment we've got now, is all about. Account statements. So let's start off straight away by reading the following. At some clothing and food stores, it is possible to open an account, buy goods on credit, and pay off what you owe the store on a monthly basis. All right. So my wife's going to go off to the shop. She's going to see the dress she just has to have. Okay? And she's going to say, "My dear husband, that's the dress I want. Will you buy it for me?" And that's a stupid question because as a husband, if you say no, you're going to get a divorce. So you've just automatically got to say, "Of course I will, dear." And so my wife says, "Will you buy it for me?" My response is, "Of course I will, dear. Let's open an account." So we go to the store, the account system or branch, and we say, "Right, here we are. Please, we want to open an account. I want to buy this dress for my wife." And they say, "Great, let's do it. This is how much you're going to pay every month." Oh, so I look at the amount we're going to pay every month and I add it up and say, "Hold on, the dress cost 800 Rand. By the time I'm finished paying off all these little bits for the next 6 months, this is going to end up costing me 1,200 Rand. What's going on?" They're going to say, "Sir, well, you're actually buying it on credit, and so we charge you interest." So folk, beware of that. When I buy something on credit, when I open up an account, I'm going to pay interest. Now, some shops want you to open an account. They want you to buy from their store. And so what some shops do is they have these specials, okay? And they say, if you buy this month, for 6 months, we won't charge you any interest. So if you pay it off in 6 months, it's like you're paying the cash price for the goods, okay? And they do that because then you open up an account and you buy this thing, and then a few months later, you want another dress. You've got this account, you think, "Cool, I'll put it on my account." But then it's not interest free. They're then going to charge you interest. Okay. But sometimes, folk, you've got to buy an account because you just don't have that kind of money. And so, but you need the goods straight away. Imagine if we go off to the matric dance and my wife rocks up in her pajamas. And I say to everyone, "It's okay, people. In 6 months' time, we'll have saved enough money and I'll buy her the right dress." Well, that's not going to help her. She's going to look like a banana coming into a matric dance in pajamas. Okay? So she needs the dress now. And so many people are in that position where they need something straight away, but they cannot afford to pay the full amount. So they open an account, whether it's a dress, whether it's a pair of shoes, okay? Might even be school clothes that we have to buy, okay, for our children one day. And we don't have the cash right now. So we buy it on an account. We open an account and we pay for it over a period of months. Okay, right. Let's have a look at an example quickly. I'm just going to find us a nice one. Here's a lovely example. Study the account statement below and answer the following questions. Okay, so here I have an account All right. First thing we need to see on this account is that it has an address on it, right? So if you look here, it's got an address and it's got a name. Now, folks, that's not the address of the shop. That's the address of the person who's opened that account. How do I know that? Because I see the person's name here, Miss D.T. Bears, and she lives at 222 Straight Street. Okay, that address belongs to her. Why must that be there? Well, it's because they've got to send that account to someone. They've got to know your address. Otherwise, how are you going to get the account every month? Right. So it now says as well that this is for Jet stores, Edgar's stores, and CBS stores. Right? It tells us well that there's credit available. The credit available is 1,550 Rand and 35 cents. What does that mean? That means that this person has still got 1,550 Rand and 35 cents to spend. Sure, so they've already spent some, but they can still spend some more. The store saying, we'll allow you to spend another 1,550 Rand and 35 cents. It's got the date. That's important because it's telling us the date of this statement. So we know, oh, this statement's for this month. It gives us an account number. That's important because if I've ever got a query on my account, I can phone them and say, listen, there's a problem with my account. And I'll say, sir, ma'am, we'll help you with pleasure. What is your account number? So they know they're dealing with the right account. They're connecting the right person with the right account. If you say, I don't know my account number, okay, then they'll probably ask you for your name, and then they've got to look for your name and find your account number and then type your account number in and all the rest, okay? Or they might make a mistake and give you somebody else's account, and then you're in trouble. So you want to know that account number, and it's great for reference purposes. I want us to have a look here. It says here, installment, 280 Rand. What does installment mean? Installment means that's the amount you have to pay at the end of the month. Okay, then it gives us a complete breakdown of our account. Let's have a look at it. It tells us that on the 22nd of the 5th month, the year 2011, we had an opening balance of 3,450 Rand and 15 cents. We then went in and we paid some money. How much did we pay? We paid 280 Rand. 3,450, 15 cents minus the 280 left us with a balance of 3,170 Rand and 15 cents. The very next day we went into the shop and we made a purchase. Where did we purchase? We purchased at Jet Stores and the Menlyn branch, okay? And we purchased something to the amount of 55 Rand, 50 cents. So our balance was 3,170.15. We added 55.50 and we got 3,225 Rand, 65 cents. Okay. We then made another purchase of 120 Rand. We add that to this amount, it comes to 3,345.80 or 3,345 Rand 80 cents. We then made another purchase. Okay, and this purchase landed up costing us 500 Rand. Then we landed up with an amount. What is that amount? Well, let's find it on our calculator. So we're going to say, right, our balance was 3,345 Rand and 80 cents. To that, we have got to add the 500 Rand of stuff that we bought, and it's going to come now to a price of 3,845 Rand and 80 cents. Okay, so this is going to be 3,845 Rand 80 cents. Cool. What's the closing balance? The closing balance is going to be the exact same amount, 3,845 Rand $3,840.80. That means I owe the shop $3,845.80. And how much am I going to pay every month? I'm paying only 280 Rand. Okay? Then I'm paying another 280 Rand the next month, and another, until this amount is down to zero. When it's down to zero, I don't have to pay them anymore. But the bad thing about an account, normally it never gets to zero, because as it starts getting lower, suddenly they want more dresses or more shoes, or see a wonderful skirt that they just have to have. Okay? And so it goes up again. All right. Accounts are great if you need something instantly and if you don't have the money. But they can be very, very dangerous, because it tempts people to buy things that they actually don't need, because they're thinking, oh, I don't need the money for it, I'll put it on an account. And when I put it on an account, I can pay 280 Rand a month, that's not a problem. So I'll just keep buying, okay? But they don't realize all the interest that just keeps adding and adding and adding. Okay, so what type of questions could they ask? They could say, what is Daisy's opening balance? We've already answered that question. In fact, folks, what we've actually done is what you should do in any exam. You should look at your source, look at it, discuss it with yourself, understand what's going on, just like I did. Now when we come to the questions, we already know the answers because we've worked it out for ourselves. What is the opening balance? We did that. How much is her credit limit? We did that. Okay. Next question. Why is there a due date on the statement? We didn't have a look at that. Hey, let's have a look at that quickly. When you look here, you can see that there is a due date. Let's have another nice color here. A due date is that amount. That's telling me that, listen, this amount of 280 Rand that you got to pay, you better pay it before the 7th of June. 07, 06, 2011. So before the 7th of June, you got to pay this money. If you don't pay this money, you're in trouble. We're going to start charging you interest, and you know what? If you still don't pay, this credit available of 1,550 Rand, we're going to take it away. We're going to say, listen, you can't buy from our shop anymore. So you got to pay it, and you got a date to pay it. It also tells us a credit limit. Remember, she still has 1,550 Rand available, but she started with 5,600 Rand and 50 cents. How do they work out how much you can spend? They actually ask for your salary advice slip, and they take a percentage of your salary and say, that's how much we think you can afford every single month. And then they work out your monthly repayment and say, right, because you'll pay so much back every month, this is how much you can knock your credit limit up to. It gives us an inquiry telephone number, and it also tells us our office hours. Okay, sure, folk, we've done a lot of work here. Hey? We've looked at statements so carefully. So let's just summarize this very quickly. All right, in summary, in this segment, we've covered the following. The reasons why some people need to open an account, the reasons why an account needs to be printed, and how to read information off an account. Nice section. Tends to come up in a paper 1 as well, can come up in a paper 2, but tends to mostly come up in a paper 1 question, because there's so many nice little simple basic concepts that we're testing when we test till slips and when we test accounts or statements. We'll chat again soon. See you on the TV screen in due course. Cheers.